Amazon MGM Studios confirmed that they are going to be losing lots of money as they announced that they greenlit a Tomb Raider show written by feminist Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And Amazon MGM Studios officially announced that Phoebe Waller-Bridge will write and executive produce a new Tomb Raider series for the streamer. This is what the press release said. Today, at its inaugural upfront presentation, Prime Video announced that it has ordered a Tomb Raider series with Phoebe Waller-Bridge set as writer and executive producer. The series is based on the iconic Tomb Raider video game franchise, which follows the adventures of world-famous archaeologist and adventurer Lara Croft. The project comes as part of a deal between Crystal Dynamics and Amazon MGM Studios, originating through DJ2's first look deal with the studio to develop additional Tomb Raider stories into series and films. Tomb Raider will premiere exclusively on Prime Video in more than 240 countries and territories worldwide. Waller-Bridge commented on the announcement, saying, "If I could tell my teenage self this was happening, I think she'd explode. Tomb Raider has been a huge part of my life, and I feel incredibly privileged to be bringing it to television with such passionate collaborators. Lara Croft means a lot to me, as she does to many, and I can't wait to go on this adventure, bats and all." I just feel like that's super canned. I doubt that Tomb Raider means a lot to her. That's just my thoughts. Nevertheless, Amazon MGM Studios head Jennifer Salke said, "I'm so happy to announce that we have ordered the epic globetrotting series Tomb Raider from the incredibly gifted Emmy Award winner Phoebe Waller-Bridge and the team at Crystal Dynamics. Fans and newcomers can look forward to exhilarating adventures that honor the legacy of this iconic character." I 100% doubt that. You have a track record of failure after failure after failure. One need only look at the Wheel of Time and the Lord of the Rings of Power to see that. Nevertheless, we also have Scott Amos, the head of studio at Crystal Dynamics. He said this: "Amazon MGM Studios and Amazon Games are incredible collaborators with a massive reach across the globe, enabling us to expand our Tomb Raider franchise with multiple new adventures and a shared passion for creating impactful, entertaining, emotional experiences for players and viewers throughout every facet of this universe. These timeless stories span all media platforms to meet audiences where they want to engage with Tomb Raider. It's a critical step towards our future with fans everywhere." Remember, Crystal Dynamics is the company that put the trigger warning in front of Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered and basically accused the original developers, Core, of being racists and including those kinds of things, racism in the games. It was absolutely sick and disgusting. These people have no respect for their own franchise. They should not be holding the IP just for that matter. I mean, if you can't even respect a thing that is wildly popular and you want to change it, why should you hold the IP? And they are indeed changing it. We have Crystal Dynamics working with Evil Hat Productions, one of the wokest tabletop RPG companies out there. And they are no longer having Lara Croft be an actual Tomb Raider. She's not going to be raiding tombs. That's bad. She's stopping people from being Tomb Raiders now, and she's returning relics to their original country of origin. It's all woke, absolute garbage. And that's what Crystal Dynamics thinks of the Tomb Raider property. One can only imagine that is what Phoebe Waller-Bridge has written for this live action series. Just don't have any faith in this whatsoever. Given the fact that Waller-Bridge, not only does Crystal Dynamics have an absolute terrible track record, not only does Amazon have an absolute track record, but so does Waller-Bridge. And she's been rumored as part of this show for a long time. Back in February, I think this was 2023, Deadline reported that she would write a TV series as part of a potential Tomb Raider universe that would span television, film, and games. Deadline also noted that she could also be involved in the potential movie as well as the TV series. So that does not look good. She actually confirmed her involvement in the series in an interview with IGN back in June 2023. She says, "There's so much I can incorporate. I mean, the character of Lara Croft was inspired by Indiana Jones and James Bond. So there's so much, and it just felt like the perfect final step in my own personal adventure through this kind of franchise world. I love the idea of, as Steven Spielberg describes it, the greatest show on earth, as in being able to make things with that scale and to go on adventures that big, and for the comedy and the heart to be matched, but on this kind of great level." And actually, through all the adventure stuff that I've learned from those franchises, it's actually how to keep something feeling grounded as well as allow it to be bigger than itself in some way. And so hopefully that will translate perfectly seamlessly into Tomb Raider. So she's a feminist. She talks about that. She told the BBC that she would trade 5 years of her life for the so-called perfect body. She said, "I would have been the girl with the hand up. I would have been like, hell yes." And then thinking that that was honest and thinking that's empowering because it's honest and yet feeling at the same time that it's letting the side down and not really knowing what the rules were, but then caring so deeply about women and equality and the basic principles of feminism. So you can see here that she is indeed a feminist, but it does seem like she recognizes that feminism doesn't even make a lot of sense. Doesn't really doesn't really promote anything good. It's clearly just a bunch of contradictions that leads people astray. Um, and even in that little short answer there, she seems to kind of acknowledge that at least on a superficial level. So she is indeed a feminist. She has admitted that, but she also has a train wreck of of properties that she has absolutely taken through the ringer. I mean, we can look at James Bond. She was brought in to do script rewrites for the most recent one that ended up seeing James Bond get killed. Absolutely ridiculously stupid idea. Not sure if she was involved in that, but she was part of the rewrites for that film. Most recently, she was involved in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, where she played Helena Shaw. The movie lost at least $134.2 million, according to Carolyn Reed at Forbes. But Carolyn does note that that doesn't even factor in the marketing costs of the movie. The numbers reports that the film's budget was $402.3 million and only grossed $383.9 million. In order for the film to have broken even, it needed to gross at least 1.005 billion. Clearly, did not do that. So massive amounts of losses there for that film. And she plays an insufferable character. This is what Culture's Robin Baxter said, because he rated this character as, as the second character. It was ranked number 2 on his 10 characters that single-handedly ruined a recent movie. So it's at the top of the list here. It was only behind Army of the Dead's Kate Ward. But this is how he kind of described the character. He says, she seems to be the same obnoxious, arrogant, and selfish piece of work that she was at the start of the movie. She's a completely unlikable character, and that isn't helped by Phoebe Waller-Bridge's smug, arguably Razzie-worthy turn in the role. So obviously criticizing her acting, criticizing the characters that she chooses, and she chooses these characters all the time. This isn't like a unique role for her. You can look at Solo. She was in Solo. She voiced the droid L3 3T, the insufferable droid that's always trying to cause revolution and eventually gets shot and killed. Unfortunately, it wasn't killed forever as they stuck it in the Millennium Falcon and made her character the main computer in the Millennium Falcon, which is just absolutely atrocious. Just more destruction of the franchise. So she plays these insufferable characters. She is a feminist. She writes insufferable things. So this Tomb Raider series is pretty much dead on arrival with Phoebe Waller-Bridge writing it. She just does not understand how these franchises work. She doesn't understand these characters. She is completely out of touch with them. And I think a lot of it has to do with her own ideology. And it's completely in contrast with how Lara Croft and Tomb Raider actually work. But this show is coming, and Amazon is going to lose probably millions of dollars on it. Maybe as much as what Disney lost on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know what you make of Amazon greenlighting a Tomb Raider series being written and executive produced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.